Welcome to English Without Limits. In our last lesson, we learned how to compare two things in terms of their price, how much they cost. We learned to say that one thing is more expensive than another, or that one thing is cheaper than another. Today we're going to learn how to do that with other describing words. English has many words to describe things. We call these adjectives, and we will learn how to use one adjective to compare two things. I hope you enjoy the lesson. In recent lessons, we learned how to talk about the price for things, how much money they cost. And in our last lesson, we learned how to compare the prices of two things. We learned how to say that one thing is more expensive and that the other thing is cheaper. When we do this, we are taking the two things and putting them side by side. We are saying that one is higher than the other, or it is lower than the other. This is how we compare two things. Let's join the class as they review some of this together.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Can anyone remind me, what did we do last time? What did we do last time?
Soft.
Soft? Okay. Soft and hard. That was some of it. Yeah. Soft and hard and money. That's right. Lots and lots of money. And so, if I have the birdhouse, how much is the birdhouse? $5.25 or $5.25, right? $5.25. How about this? 10 cents? Not quite.
Oh, no, $10.
$10, right. If there's a sign like this, it means dollars. And what if it's like this? That's cents, right. Okay? So when you see this sign, it says $10, unless there's a dot. Then what is it? Now it's 10 cents. If it's after the dot, it's 10 cents. Okay? Now how about this? What would you say? How much is this? $2, right? Is there a short form?
No.
Can you say two? No. No, you can't. Because you have to say dollars. Because if you just say two, it could be what? $2, 2 cents, 2 cows, $200. Okay? You have to be clear. Now, we also did some comparing. So which of these two things are more expensive? The hat or the chamois? The hat. So what do we say about the hat?
The hat, especially the chamois.
Very close, yes. The hat is more expensive.
The chamois.
More expensive than the chamois. Right. If we start with the more expensive thing, what if we start with the cheaper thing?
The chamois is cheaper than the hat.
Right. Does that make sense? If you start with the less expensive thing or the cheaper thing, you say the first thing is cheaper than the second thing. If it's the other way around, like so, if this is more expensive than this, the first compares to the second. So you can always say cheaper than. Okay? So that's kind of where we ended off last time. So let's do some quick comparisons here. What can you say? Starting with this.
The bird water is more expensive than the shoe.
Is more expensive than the shoe? Are you sure? Yeah. This is how much is the water bottle?
10 cents.
10. Yes, 2. That's right. It's 10 cents. You see this little dot here? right? So now it's not $10 anymore, it's 10 cents. And how much is this?
75 cents.
75 cents. So how much, can you make a comparison again? The water bottle is
Cheaper than shoes.
cheaper than the shoes. What if we were to start with the shoes?
The shoe is expensive, the water bottle.
Is that right there? Yeah? The shoe is more expensive than. Not, you can't say expensiver. That doesn't quite make sense. More expensive than. Okay? Good.
When we say something is cheap or expensive, we are using describing words. We call these words adjectives. Adjectives. Adjectives describe things. And cheap and expensive are only two adjectives. We have many, many such describing words in English. Words like big, small, pretty, thick, green, or rough, or hard. These are all describing words, adjectives. And we're going to learn today how to use one describing word to compare two things and show which one is higher or which one is lower in that particular quality. I hope you enjoy the lesson.
What you need to know is you can use more than and cheap something than for anything, for any describing word almost. So, Lair, you mentioned soft and hard. So how can you turn these into comparison words? Would you say more soft than, or would you say softer than? Do you know?
More soft than?
Not quite. Not quite. Let's back up just a little bit. Can you give me some more describing words? What are some describing words?
Good.
Good. Okay. All right. We can use good. What's another one? What are describing words? What can you tell me about the chamois?
It's soft.
It's soft, okay, so we've got soft. What about this side? Do you remember the word for that? Maybe the birdhouse is a better example. Feel the birdhouse.
It's hard.
It's hard, okay. What's the other word?
Rough.
Rough. That's right. It's rough. So we've got rough. Okay. How about other words? How about other words? Do you remember? We've got colors. What are some colors? Green. Good. Green is a good color. Green. What about, not Greer, green. How about the color of your shirts?
Red.
Red. Good. And we've got one guy that's got blue pants on. So we've got red, we've got blue. Okay, what else do we have? We've got, what about size? What about size? What size is this?
It's big.
It's big, yes. We've got big. And we've got
Small.
small. Good. Okay. So we've got rough, soft, hard, good, green, red, big, small, blue.
Medium.
Medium. That's a good one. Okay. This is a very good word to use. If you want to compare one thing to another, you need to look at these words and listen to them. Okay? Well, let's look at expensive and cheap. Expensive. How many pieces are there in the word expensive? How many syllables?
9.
Not 9, not the number of letters. How about the number of sounds?
3.
3, that's right. Can you tell them, what are they? What are the different sounds?
Expensive.
Good. Expensive. Right? These are what we call syllables. 1 syllable, 2 syllables, 3 syllables. How about a word like cheap? How many syllables? Not 2, 1. Not cheaper, cheap. If we're just doing the first part of the word here, so cheap. We're not worrying about the ER just yet. Okay? 1 syllable, 3 syllables. Okay? So if it's 1 syllable, and sometimes if it's 2 syllables, you add ER to the ending. So what about this word? What would you say? More rough than or rougher than? Rougher than, exactly. How about soft? What would you do for soft?
Soft. The R is soft.
Right. How many syllables in the word soft? 1. So what ending do you use? More soft than or softer than?
Softer than.
Softer than, right? So if it's 1 syllable, okay, and usually for this one, it's 3 syllables. Okay, so a word like expensive, you have to say more expensive than. Because if you say expensiver, people that speak English all the time kind of look at you funny. So you can't say expensiver than, you have to say more expensive than. How about a word like green? 1 syllable, that's right. So what would you say? So you would say green, greener. Greener. Okay, let's pull this off for a minute. Okay, so we have rougher, softer, harder. Does this work? Mediumer? No. Why not?
Yeah, but it's 2 words.
2 words?
Oh, 3.
3 syllables, that's right. Me, di, 3 syllables. So what do? We can't use ER. So what do we have to say? Not ED, no.
ING.
Not ING, this one here. More, medium, than. Okay? How about green? ER or... Yeah? Greener, redder, bigger. Okay, we'd have to add an extra G here. Bigger, smaller, bluer. Okay? So, there's 1 syllable. What ending do we use?
ER.
ER. If it's 3 syllables, what do we use?
No.
More, whatever your word is, than. No endings to the words, really, except if it's 1 syllable. You use ER. Good. Okay. So then question is, which towel should I buy? What do you think? Which towel should I buy? The big one? Why? Because it is... Because it is not more better, it's... Well, what's the size? This one is...
Small.
Small. Good. And this one is?
Big.
Big. Okay. And the green? It's not really the same green, is it? We have a light green and a dark green. But look at the price. This one is how much? Lair, how much is this?
$6.75.
$6.75. And how much is this?
$3.
$3. So which one is cheaper? This one. Right. The smaller one is cheaper, and the bigger one is
More expensive.
more expensive. Right. So which one should I buy? What do you think? The bigger one? Even though it is more expensive? Okay. Maybe I think I'll go with the bigger one too, because if I come out of the shower, I don't think this will help me. No, this will not help me.
The table, this one.
Pardon?
If you the table.
Yes, I can clean the table with this one, but I don't think I can dry my body with this one. It's too small. So, what I'd like you to do then is go to your clipboard underneath, and you should have 12 words. 12 words. And what I'd like you to do is change the word from just the basic word to say either, to use it as a comparison word. So cheap becomes cheaper than. And if you have a word with 3 syllables, more, whatever the word is, than. Okay? If you need a pencil, I can. Oh no, Larry's got that one covered. Great. So, good luck. I'll come back to you in just a few minutes.
If you have the worksheet that the teacher showed, you may complete that now. Take each one of the describing words and change them the way the teacher showed you. Change them to be a comparing word. The first one has been done as an example for you. Soft would become softer than. Now remember, there is a rule. If the word has one part, one syllable, you would say softer than or cheaper than. If the word has 3 syllables or more syllables, you would say more expensive than. You use more instead of putting ER on it. But if the word has 2 parts, 2 syllables, then most of the time you say more than. Unless the word ends with an E sound, like in heavy or easy. If you have a 2-syllable adjective that ends with that E sound, then you add ER. You would say easier than or heavier than. But if it does not end in an E sound, then say more something than. All right? Are you ready? Let's do that exercise now. Please stop the video and do the activity. Well, let's check now to see how you did. We will go over the words from that worksheet. I will put the word on the screen, and you give the comparing word for it. If I say soft, you would say softer than. So I will put the word up, and I will wait a moment for you to give your answer, then I will give the correct answer. All right? Remember the rule about how many syllables the word has. Are you ready? Let's begin. Rough. Rougher than. Green. Greener than. Expensive. More expensive than. Cheap. Cheaper than. Light. Lighter than. Heavy. Heavier than. Beautiful. More beautiful than. Pretty. Prettier than. Annoying. More annoying than. Big. Bigger than. Small. Smaller than. Thick. Thicker than.
Let's take a look at the board over here, and you'll see that I've put up some new words. So what can you tell me about a word like blue? Can you make a comparison?
Blue.
Bluer. There's another word. Yes. Bluer than. Okay? How about a word like dark?
Darker.
Darker than. How about this word?
Bigger.
Bigger. Okay. Lair. How about this word? What would this become? Short. Shorter. Shorter than. Okay, you cannot forget the than. If you're making a comparison, if I say the chamois is shorter hat, it doesn't make sense.